Hello and welcome to a My Mini Maths video tutorial where we're going to be looking at bridging multiples of 10. This video also provides support and help with the arithmetic target question 8. So what do we mean by bridging a multiple of 100? So if I take 100 as an example, okay, and I have a value that comes just before, which is less than 100, and one that comes after at 103, we can see how we are bridging, like we would with a river, the 100. Okay, and we can look at how we are jumping from one side of the river to the other. So in this case, 98 over to 103. So let's have a look at some examples. So first of all, let's look at some addition examples. So if I take a question, 97 add 8, we could firstly do this as a mental maths question. So we could do it in our head, but to actually have a look at it and break it down and see what's actually happening. So if I take the 97 here, and then I break the 8 up into +3 and +5. Okay, so first of all, when I, there's my +8 altogether. Now let's have a look at what happens. So if I take my 97, if I add 3, that takes me to 100. Okay, so it's like saying we're in the river, I suppose. And then we can add the 5 on top of the 100 to give us a grand total of 105. So as you can see, we've passed over the multiple of 100 here. We can also look at the same question as a number line. So again, 97 plus 8. So if I create a number line, I start at 97 here, I've got 100 here, which we're going to be jumping over, and if I add 3, just like we did before, to take my first step to my stepping stone of 100, and then I have 5 left for my 8, add the 5 for a final answer of 105. And finally, for addition, we could, of course, just use the standard column. So if I take the calculation, 97, we're going to add the 8 to it. Okay, so we have the 7 plus the 8 is 15. Carry the 10 into the tens column. We have 1 10 and 9 tens, so that's going to be obviously 10 tens. So carry the 1 into the hundreds for a final answer of 105. It's whichever method, approach you find easiest and which you find easiest to understand. And so on to subtraction. Let's have a look at an example. So if I take 202 and I'm going to subtract 30 from this. Okay, so if we look at a number line like we did previously, and I'm starting at 202. Okay, we're going to go past our multiple of 100 here, and we're going to finish up somewhere around the left hand side of the number line. So let's have a look. So if I take my 30, okay, I can break that up into -2 here, which will take me down to 200. Then the remaining -28. So if I take my -28 here, I will finish up at 172. Yep, so looking at these two parts here, you can see how we have our -30 broken down into 2 separate steps, which gives us the overall jump of -30. And again, we can have a look at a column method for the same calculation. 202 subtract 30. Now some children will find this easier to follow, and that's absolutely fine. It's about arriving at the correct solution. So let's have a little look. So 2 in the units, 2 take away nothing gives us 2. In the tens, we have 0 tens take away 3 tens. Well, we can't do that, so we need to go over to the hundreds and borrow. So 10 tens take away 3 tens gives us 7 tens for 70, and 100 minus the 0 hundreds, you don't have to place a 0, but you can if you wish, gives us the 172. And we can also look at some missing number options. So we may have 185 plus something gives us 203. So let's have a look at the calculation. Now, our total is 203. So if we take a bar, and the whole value of the bar is 203. And what I've done, I've got 2 values here. First of all, I've got my 185. Then I've got my unknown value here, and together those will add up to 203. So as we can see from the bar, if I take my 203 and I subtract the 185 part, okay, we can see what is missing in this section here. So 3 take away 5 we can't do, and we can't borrow from the 0 either next door in the tens, so we need to go all the way over to the hundreds and bring it back to the tens. From there we can borrow from the 10 tens to make 13 take away 5, which is 8. 9 tens take away 8 tens is a single 10, and the 100 take the 100 is 0 for an answer, or a missing answer, of 18, which goes in this part here. And finally, we can have a look at a missing value involving a subtraction question. So we may have 311 subtract something gives us 294. So let's have a little look. So the original value, the whole value, the biggest value is 311. So that's going to be our bar. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we know we've broken this down into 2 parts, and we know if we subtract the unknown part here, there, and that leaves us with the 294 over on the right hand side. So if I take my 311 and subtract the right hand side, it will tell me what's left over for the question mark, the red question mark. So 1 take away 4 we can't do, so we're going to borrow from the tens. 11 take away 4 is 7. 0 tens take away 9 tens we can't do, so we're going to borrow from the hundreds. So we're left with 200. We've got 10 tens minus the 9 tens, which is a single 10, and then we've got 200 take away 200, which is 0. So our missing value in here will be 17. So 311 minus 17 gives us 294. Okay, that's everything for today. I hope that you found that helpful. Now, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can hear of all the latest videos and news and updates first at myminimaths.co.uk. So take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.